Temporal Storm in Vintage Story is a recurrent event which is here to harass players and get newbies arse kicked, but to be honest with you, even after 300 hours in this game I'm still dying regularly, so no worries. When you first launch the world, the chat will let you know when your first Temporal Storm comes, and then will also prompt you again 5 minutes before it begins, and finally when it eventually starts. Before 1.16, players could sleep through the storm by default and not have to fight with the hordes of drifters, but now if you don't enable it via the command or during the start of your world, then you will have to face the inevitable. So to survive a temporal storm, you can just craft a bunch of cheap spears from any stones and a ton of poultices to heal yourself, and then just run around and never look back. Well, there are probably better ways to counter drifters, but I like to embrace the challenge, you know? You could also try using lakes or rivers to your advantage to slow down drifters and throw spears from afar, but you also lose your own mobility, so that guy with a chainsaw might actually reach you pretty easily. Whatever you do, just don't stop running, because at some point a drifter seems to spawn behind your back and either one-shots you or harms you pretty badly. Well, this is what usually ruined my ultra-hardcore experience. Now let's talk about loot, you know, because regardless of how creepy the storm looks, all you need to care about is a double-headed drifter, because they give the best loot with 100% chance, which may include temporal gears, rusty gears and flax fibers. The stronger the storm, the more double-headed drifters can spawn. I think in one of my playthroughs I had like 3 of them during the heavy storm, so that was pretty nice. Now if you've got decent armor and weapons and don't have anything else to do with your life, you can also enjoy temporal storms by entering the rifts that drain your temporal stability in seconds, or you can just dig pretty deeply into the ground or find a spot where the gear rotates counterclockwise, and then you can just stand there and wait till the darkness comes for you. Well, that's also good to know if you don't want it to come for you. You could also use temporal gears to restore your level of sanity. Well, according to Vintage Story lore, one of the ancient dudes discovered the temporal storm when folks dug too deep and got destroyed by their own mechanisms and drifters. In the lore piece Breakdown, you can find this message which, well, kinda resembles what you would expect to see in a temporal storm. I am in the other world and it's leaking into this one. Well, I guess that's exactly what the temporal storm is, isn't it? Alright, so the temporal storm kinda makes sense lore-wise, and it's also a pretty cool mechanic of keeping you entertained, let's call it this way. Well, now I guess you should know a bit more about what the hell the temporal storm is, and some call it also rust or whatever, but you also might wanna have some commands to have more control over the world settings, and here is the list of the most useful ones, and the link is also in the description. For example, you can disable storms, sleep through them, change duration, fast forward to the next storm, or find out when it's gonna hit. Some may call it cheating, but well, others will find it useful, and I hope it was. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything, because I'm pretty sure I did, and share your thoughts about temporal storms. Is this something you like or hate? And I'll see ya in the next one.